Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duck Bricks. I'm Chris, and on a recent meet and greet in one of my favorite used LEGO stores in my area, Bricks and Wheels, Washington, I got the chance to get the ultimate LEGO Ninjago display. And when I say ultimate, I mean it, because this might be one of, if not the largest, official LEGO store display that I've ever seen. And it does come with two of my favorite sets from the LEGO Ninjago movie. And so, without further ado, let's jump on in and take a look at this crazy new LEGO addition to my collection. I have no idea where I'm gonna put it. In the skies above my LEGO collection soars the majestic Destiny's Bounty from the LEGO Ninjago movie, one of my all-time favorite Ninjago sets. And mounted on the walls are some of the Ninjago vehicles, including Zane's ice tank, which was another really interesting set from the movie. But there is a display that tops them all, because right now, I am officially the proud owner of this large-scale LEGO Ninjago store display featuring the movie Bounty, Zane's ice tank, and a Manta Ray Bomber, as well as a ton of minifigures. This is by far the largest store display I ever have owned, and it is one of the largest they have ever made. Even compared to the other large store displays I have in my possession, from Bionicle to Mindstorms to even another Ninjago one, Hidden Side, and Elves, this is nearly double the size of most other store displays. It originates from Toys R Us, so you can see that original Toys R Us logo right there. And this is just so cool because honestly for me, it is kind of the ultimate Ninjago display to own, especially because it combines one of my favorite Ninjago sets of all time, the movie version of the Destiny's Bounty. Down here, you can see an advertisement for which of the minifigures are actually included in the set, with Wu, Lloyd, Cole, Zane, Nia, Jay, and Kai being the full secret ninja force included in 70618, the Destiny's Bounty, which you can see has a little bit of a display stand of its own right here. And you even have a little bit of a stand for all of the functions of the set itself, which is just so cool. Of course, I love how they've actually blended these scenes together, where obviously they actually paid attention to only include one of each ninja in the displays. There aren't multiple copies of Zane or multiple copies of Cole, so to speak. They each kind of just live in their own separate section, which is really, really cool. They also have the civilians from many of the different sets running for safety towards the bounty. You have a bit of a 3D display here with the stairs, as well as a ramp for the ice tank to go on. It is just so cool how much effort and thought was put into the display itself. Moving onwards, of course, there is the ad for 70616, Zane's ice tank. We have Zane, Torben, and Patty Keys, who actually was a reference to the LEGO Ninjago TV show, and then two of Garmadon's Fish Warriors right there. And of course, this is the ice tank itself, which is a very, very interesting design for a LEGO set. Zane is in the cockpit, but I really do love how they actually have even the accessory for one of the minifigures dropped on the ground as if they were running away in a hurry. So you can see the terrified civilians running in fear. This is just a really complete scene. And I feel like it does a much better job than a lot of other store displays at actually making this feel like a full-on scene. Now, of course, in the back there, you can see there's actually three-dimensional bits of the Ninjago movie backing, which actually sticks forwards ahead of the cardboard. It's a little bit hard to see because obviously we are working behind a pane of clear acrylic here, but there you can see it actually does have a 3D amount of depth to it, so you can have the really nice printed background of Ninjago City behind the display case itself. And then finally, of course, you gotta have a villain set as well. It wouldn't have been cooler if it was something like the Garmadon super mech that they had for the movie. Yes, but I do understand that for space constraints, they did have to keep it to a smaller set. And that is, of course, 70609, the Manta Ray Bomber, featuring Shen Li, Cole, as well as two of the Shark Army soldiers here, which is really cool. You actually have it hovering above the ground on this metal stand. And one of my favorite bits is that Kai is actually leaping into action. And again, it's a really cool example of how they actually combine the figures from all of the different sets to make an incredibly dynamic display. You have the bounty pulling up alongside the waves of the coast. You have the dock stair steps going downwards, the civilians fleeing, the ice tank on a pane of ice that you can see has actually been formed, printed below it. And then the Manta Ray Bomber coming in from above is just a really, really cool idea. You've got the villains on this side with the villain minifigures there, and just some of the ninja fighting back back, it is just a fully complete display. This is especially striking in comparison to some of the other store displays I do have, like this 2012 Rise of the Snakes one, which is still really cool, but ultimately a little bit more basic than the much more detailed one that you can see for the Ninjago movie. Obviously, you just have 3 of the sets featured here, and they are 2 of the sets actually, because this one came with the Fangpire truck. And the minifigures are pretty much just posed in the exact ways that you would see them in the original sets, but in the newer Ninjago movie display, you can just see how far LEGO came in terms of creating really interesting and unique display pieces to serve in different stores. Now, unfortunately, while this display originally had lights, they do no longer work. I probably will dedicate a lot more time after I actually have this video out to trying to get the lights to initially work, because when they're lit up, like the hidden side display here, it looks really, really cool. And obviously you can see that LEGO has done a ton of crazy light effects for some of their other sets here, but unfortunately wasn't able to get the lights on this one working just yet. But I feel like, I did study electrical engineering as one of my degrees in college. I should be able to figure it out, or worst case, put in my own lights. So I definitely do feel that maybe sometime in the future, I will be hooking all of these up to lights to really just make them pop. But as of right now, I just couldn't wait to showcase this really incredible Ninjago display. This is, to me, the ultimate Ninjago store display I could have gotten. I have not seen one bigger, and I do not know if a bigger one actually exists. So it's super cool to have this in my possession. It is hard to demonstrate the scale, but if I just put my hand here, you can just see how big and gargantuan this display is. Super, super excited to have this as one of the centerpieces of my collection. And now, whenever I walk into my LEGO collection, these store displays are the first thing that you see front and center, which is really, really exciting. That's all for this overview. Many thanks to Bricks and Wheels for actually selling me this at a great price. And let me know in the comments, do you own any special store displays yourselves? And I'm really curious what you think about this one. Alright, and with that, we've summed up our look at my new ultimate LEGO Ninjago display piece. I rarely buy store displays because, if you look around, I literally don't have space, but I couldn't pass this one up. At 300 bucks, it was not bad at all, and I also got a Bionicle one to boot, so I might be doing a separate video on that one because that's another one that I got from the same store. It's about like a third of the size of the Ninjago one, but it's still also really cool. But yeah, it was really special of them to be able to actually sell these to me. I think they normally were not for sale, but since I was there doing a meet and greet, the owner was really nice and was willing to sell them to me. So first of all, thank you so much. I am so happy to have these in my collection, and I cannot wait to put them on display in a future LEGO museum. That's all for now. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.